Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at some accessories for the DJI OSMO ACTION. Now, these were furnished to me by the manufacturer, that is Ulanzi. You may have noticed I've been getting a lot of accessories for both the DJI OSMO Pocket, now here the Action, this cage I already shared with all of you, which is well made. I'll include a link in the description for all of these products, and I'll be putting these to the test. So far, really liking the cage. I mean, at around 40 US. I think it's solid. It's well made. It gives you flexibility for lighting options. No microphone options at this time because there is no way to hook up at least to my knowledge, an external microphone directly into the OSMO ACTION. Whether or not they'll introduce one, I haven't seen anything, so I don't think they will. But we've got a circular polarizing filter, something that is a must-have, as well as a neutral density filter. And then we've got this all-around little rubber body and lanyard. So you've got a lens cap and just basically a silicone skin for the camera itself. All of these are under $20 US a piece. I believe the filters are around 15, and I think this is around $12 or $13. These just arrived. I wasn't even expecting them, and in my opinion, they are, I mean, I haven't tested them. I'll find out. You'll see footage. But generally speaking, these are must-haves, at least when it comes to the filters, just like with the Osmo Pocket. Absolutely must have the filters. So let's go ahead and take a look at the neutral density filter here. And, you know, the design looks very similar to a competing manufacturer. I won't name names, but it looks a lot like another one, which is a well-known one. And you can see they've got a little metal, a tin case here, which I actually happen to like because I've kind of watched their packaging evolve. And there is your neutral density filter. So, you know, it looks like it matches the fit and finish of what we have on the OSMO ACTION natively. I've yet to even remove mine, and it is incredibly hard to remove for those of you that are unfamiliar. Not an easy task getting this sucker off, but I assure you, I'm not sharing this with you because I'm not going to. So if you don't know why you would need a neutral density filter, this is essentially to control your light, the stops that you're able to achieve. This is going to help you in a multitude of different ways when you're out in bright light trying to achieve a certain look, certain still, certain video profile. This is going to be a must-have. Otherwise, you're looking at post-production, and you still won't have the flexibility necessarily that you have just having something like this on you. Now, the circular polarizing filter, different story. Both, of course, designed for outdoors and dealing with lighting. I mean, that's what it's all about. This is going to help you with reflections. This is going to help you, not with opening the box, but again, reflections, contrast. Boy, I am really struggling with this, and it should be fairly straightforward. I don't think it's sealed. I'm also not looking to rip this apart. But let's see. There we go. I did rip it apart. What do you know? So you would think it'd be simple enough, but I always have problems with unboxings. I mean, that's nothing new. Anyone who follows my channel knows the pain that I suffer. At any rate, voila. Now, you may notice already, not as transparent a piece of glass here, and that's because, as I mentioned, completely different than what you're working with the neutral density. The idea here is different. We're going for something, I mean, a circular polarizing filter versus ND, you're achieving two different looks. You're handling two different lighting problems, essentially. Or I won't call them problems, conditions. You'll notice it is branded here. Bring it in for a tight shot if I can get it in focus, which I should be able to. But you can see right there, hopefully, it does say CPL for DJI OSMO ACTION. So a mistake I've seen other manufacturers make, which is literally not label the filters. And I believe, I haven't checked to see if these are on Amazon yet, but as I mentioned, if they are, I will include links in the description. And I will get to testing these out. You will see footage both without these in bright daylight, which is, you know, natively what we're looking at here. And then, of course, with them on and demonstrating the value they both individually represent. Let's move on to the silicone housing. Now, if you don't want to have a metal housing like this, a cage, don't care about the accessories, the possibilities, and you really just want something to protect it that is superior than what comes with the Osmo Action itself, that's where you want to look at a silicone case like the one that I'm about to open for you. I don't think there's I think I can just do this like I have. Ulanzi tends to do the Ziploc bag, which there's nothing wrong with. And yeah, so basically what we have here, straightforward. You've got a silicone skin, so I'm pretty sure I'm just going to be able to pop this right in. Unlike the filters, which is going to take a little bit of handling in order to really get this the lens protector off of the Osmo Action. I mean, I've seen all sorts of different tactics, but they all pretty much involve using rubber. That's the theme. So once I get it off, I'll be sure to communicate how I've done it, but probably along the same lines. I like this already. I mean, it's a skin, it's protected. You have a lens cap, something that natively you do not. I'm looking, it has a cutout that's intentionally designed for the cutout here of the grill, as I will call it. So essentially there's how you're going to want to line it up so that the grill mates with the bump out, because that's what the purpose of the cutout is. And then last but not least, you have the lanyard, which, I mean, this is kind of a must-have accessory if you do not plan on utilizing a metal cage like this one, which I personally prefer. But if you're not going to use any of those cold shoes, then I don't even know if I'm going to try to thread this right now. If you're not going to use them, then why do you really need it? It's just unnecessary overall. Whereas here you could just have for $12 or $13 and change protection all around. You'll still want to get a screen protector because we don't have screen protection right now. I haven't been sent that, nor have I gone out of my way to purchase it. But this doesn't block anything. You see, you still have access to the microphones. The buttons are all still accessible. But, of course, your SD card slot is blocked. So that is the one drawback to the silicone skin. You don't have that problem with the metal cage. I prefer the metal cage. It does bulk it up. But, to each his or her own, depending on what you actually need. But that's pretty much it. So this, again, a little, Osmo Action Ulanzi care package, ND filter, circular polarizing filter, and of course this brand new rubber skin with lens cap. I think it's all a nice little package. I think they're continuing to crank out competitive accessories for DJI products, even filling gaps where DJI doesn't step up themselves. And that's why I have continued to review their products. Some have been great, some, not necessarily best in class. I will hope for the best from these filters. The silicone skin is what it is. I mean, it's a form of protection. Again, I prefer the metal cage. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.